Hello guys, and welcome to today's video. As always, I'd like to first start by thanking you for tuning in. I hope you've been enjoying my channel. If you have, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom of your page just there. Today's video, guys, is about the best approach for you when it comes to fat loss. With that in mind, let's talk about the sustainability of a diet. Quite often the advice is to make small changes that are easy to maintain. This is a really good approach, guys, a really good approach, because most of us live busy lives, which means that we'll go through phases of having low motivation and high motivation, and having that flexibility to make small changes here and there, trying to change our habits, is a really good way of doing things. However, guys, with this approach, the progress that you will make will be very steady, very slow. Nothing wrong with that. That's really good thing, if anything, because it means you're probably going to be changing your habits as you go along, and it will become much easier to sustain, like I just mentioned. However, if you wanted faster results, you can't get away from the fact that you'll have to make bigger changes. You already know the answer to that one. You go into a bigger deficit of calories. The way you do that, well, there's loads. We can go through that maybe on another video, I think, but effectively what you're trying to do, if the faster you want the results to be, the deeper a calorie deficit you need to be in. So before you make any decisions on how fast you want your fat loss to be, let's talk about the pros and cons of a faster, deeper deficit. Let's start with the cons. Poor energy levels. The longer you're in a deficit, a deep deficit of calories, I should say, your energy levels are going to dip and dip and dip more and more and more. That's both in and out of a session. You're likely to crave junk food. You're much more likely to, at the end, when you've reached your goal, yo-yo back, because you may not have created the habits you need to sustain that weight loss. You're hungrier. You're hungrier, and your sex drive is right down. Okay, guys, so those are the cons. So the pros are you get to your goal quicker. Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But ultimately that is your aim. So you can see there's much more in the cons column than there is in the pros. However, it does mean that you do get to your goal much quicker. But just bear in mind, it is much harder to stick to and will impact your day-to-day life quite a bit more. Not just your life at home, but your social life as well, because you're going to have to make choices that mean you stick to the program, the plan, whatever it is that you're doing to get yourself into that deep calorie deficit. So let's say now that you do decide to go for the fast approach. Now, we talked about the steady approach a minute ago, okay? We make small changes month by month, week by week, whatever suits the individual. That is to make slow, steady changes to your lifestyle habits so that you can sustain your fat loss, right? We just talked about that. Now, with the fast approach, you make big changes all across the park with regards to your nutrition, maybe your output, but we can talk about that another time, to provoke a much faster change. Let's say you get to that place now. Yo-yo dieting is exactly that. When you get to that bottom point and you haven't created any new habits, you've just gone, this is what I'm doing for 12 weeks. I've got to my weight goal. You go back to what you were doing. Guess what's going to happen over a period of time? You know the answer. I don't need to tell you. Okay, so at some point, like we used with the steady approach when we take calories away, at some point, something has to be done in a steady way to change your habits. So you can't get away with that one, okay? Because it's going to come back at some point. It's just whether you're in a position where you think, I want to get this done fast, or are in your position when you think, actually, I've got a bit of time, I'd rather make the steady changes, okay? So with all that in mind, guys, I want you to really consider everything we've spoke about here. It's been a really short video, hopefully to the point. Have a think about what we've talked about and make the decision that's better for your life, okay? So if you've got the time, if you've got the motivation to get yourself in a deeper calorie deficit to get to your results quicker, by all means do it, but understand what the negative's going to be. Okay, I've spoken about the cons. They're going to be real. The longer you're in it, they're going to get even more real, and life isn't that fun at that point. If you're not in the right place for that, if your motivation is low, if you've got a lot of work on, if you have a family, a couple of kids, you're not getting that much sleep, then you might want to think about the small, steady changes, perhaps a meal a week. Change your breakfast for a month, change your lunch the next month, dinner the month after that. Have a little think about your snacks the month after that. And after 6 months, you've changed your entire diet effectively. That's the approach that most people take. However, that approach will get you steady results, and understand if you want it quicker, do the other way. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video and that you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and stay up to date with all the weekly content that we've got for you.